Okay, hey guys, it's Heath Gordon with Smashmouth Chess. This is another correspondence game that I played, and it was actually against a friend of mine. He completely outranked me in terms of ratings, but his ratings are very inflated. No offense, Booth, but your ratings are inflated. Um, Deal with it. Deal with it, Booth. Okay, this one is one again where I feel like, well, I'll show you from this, but I feel like my tactics were pretty outstanding and I forced a lot of moves that were extremely helpful. So if my opening is going to look pretty standard. So yep, e4, c5. I only know one opening, the Ruy Lopez. So okay. Pretty straightforward. I protected my bishop, backed off, and so this is pretty common. I don't mind this because you lose space. I don't mind getting my bishop pushed back because usually what this guy does, what happens at this point is he'll take the b pawn and move it to b5, and then I've got a fianchettoed bishop, and he's kind of jammed up. It usually jams him up at this point, but Booth does something a bit creative. So obviously what's going to happen is if he moves there, my bishop is screwed. I did not see this at the time until I literally made this move, and as soon as I pressed the submit button, I was like, well, I just lost my bishop. However, let's look at my position once it's done. He pulls it. I could have taken his bishop. We could have traded bishops. But let's look what happens now. Okay, I castle because there's nothing I could do. I guess I could have taken it if I had taken the pawn. Would have left his rook file open, which, why would I do that? Why would I do that? Boom. Now look at this. He has 3 isolated pawns. I'm dominating the center, and I've developed 2 of my bishops. 2 of my knights. And he's got a pretty good looking bishop. I guess this is not an isolated pawn, but it's protected. But as soon as he moves his bishop, it's no longer protected. Boom. So I start getting aggressive. That's not really aggressive, but okay, weak. He could have pushed it up, and I would have had 2 fianchettoed bishops. Boom. So I start protecting my center. And I was just piling it on. Okay. Look, I'm ready to blast through the center because he hasn't done anything to protect his king yet. He has developed. Look at these positions right now. Okay. Now this took me a lot of thinking, and I think I came up with the right decision here. Now this is move. So if you want to comment on this, this is move 10. What I should have done on move 10. But I moved my pawn forward. So the question here is because I have this lined up and I've got this pawn protected. This spot I've got protected 4 times over. That's I am to his 2, maybe 3. This is pretty. I thought he was going to take. I had a whole yes, and if he took here, I was going to take with my bishop and force his queen. The only thing I would say right now that's weak about my position is my knights don't really have anything to do. They're on the third row, but as we'll see, it's fine. So now we're all jammed up. I don't recall why I did this. Okay. So he's obviously thinking about something here. But I take, pressure his bishop, and look at this. Discovered attack. My first real technical achievement in this. Boom. Boom. Alright. So now things are in my favor drastically. And he takes, and now I'm just piling it on his king. Now I've got a rook staring down. He hasn't even activated his knights yet. His bishops are, they're okay. So he's obviously going to try to put a pawn on my knight, but I preempt it. And all right, so now what's happening is right now I'm threatening to fork. If I put my knight here, I forked his king and his rook. Classic. And he can't take because this has absolutely just destroyed his pawn structure. He has the only protected pawn, the only pawn that's supporting, you know, itself is right, that's being supported by another pawn is right here. So that's just ripped out his inside. So he's forced to move his king at this point or lose the rook. Okay. So now obviously he can still kick my thing out, but boom, I decide, you know what, I'm willing to trade at this point because I'm up in material. When I'm up in material, my theory is I might as well press my material advantage, and every trade that I can make only benefits me. And I prefer to take out in the end game, you know, the fewer pieces on the board, the more I like to have bishops off the board. So I want to take his bishops out. But I don't know what he's thinking here. I mean, he could have brought his rook out, saved his rook, but he doesn't. I mean, I guess, you know, that puts my knight in a weird position, but I mean, I can bring it right back out on the 7th. Okay. Boom. So I give him my queen in nice and tight. And that's the best move he could have made. Bring my knight in. That's good. There we go. So I was thinking I would take, I mean, yeah, he can bring his knight out, but I mean, then we trade knights. But I mean, that's a poor choice because now, yes, that's pawn. The only thing came from that was we traded. This pawn supported, and I've got an open. I mean, this is just glorious, and this is going to be handy in a bit. Finally, can bring my knight into it. He can take it if he wants. Doesn't. Boom. I don't get the logic behind that, but done. So now I'm way up. I mean, so he brings his knight in. That's the only thing to do. Oh no, don't take please don't take my rook. But once again, so now I've forked these two, but if I take this, I lose my rook, which I don't want. So oh well, if I take now, I lose my rook, which I don't want. So I take the pawn. And at this point he resigns, because this is pretty much a hopeless situation for him, for a number of reasons. Because I can fork the king. I mean, this is pretty much a hopeless situation for him. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed that. Comments on it. I think I played a pretty good game, all things considered. If you want to offer, let's see, what would be a good position to maybe what the best thing to have done here would be. That's another place. So this is move, you can reference move 10 when those pawns were like lined up, or you could tell me what was going on, what would have been a better move here. That's what I would like to know, or just things in general. So thanks for tuning in, and sorry Booth.